Why is SHIVA LINGA worshipped? Idols of many gods and goddesses are revered and worshipped in various locations. While Lord Shiva is worshipped through his iconic lingam form, he is also worshipped in the form of idols. According to mythology, Mahadev Lord Shiva carried the lifeless body of Sati Devi and intentionally caused it to fragment, creating 50 designated spots known as Shakti Peeths. In these places, Shiva Linga also emerged, representing the combined energies of Lord Shiva and Shakti. Thus, alongside the creation of Shakti Peeth, Shiva Lingas were established, embodying the harmonious union of Shiva and Shakti and providing solace and protection to all. Shiva Lingas came into existence to accompany the formless Shakti Peeth, ensuring the presence of divine energy. Once all the fragments of Sati Devi's body had scattered, the weight and burden on Lord Mahadev's body and mind lessened. He sensed the absence of Sati Devi's physical presence, but the profound strength and energy derived from her were still coursing through him. However, despite this, Lord Mahadev's mind could not find solace, and his longing for Sati Devi grew unbearable. Overwhelmed by grief, he descended from his elevated platform, collapsing on the ground while calling out, "Hail Sati Devi!" and losing consciousness. Lord Mahadev remained seated in the state of lamentation, unable to find peace even in that posture. After patiently searching for some time, Lord Mahadev came to the realization that Sati Devi's physical form was no longer present with him. Thoughts and contemplation filled his mind as he grappled with the situation. With the intention of elevating and pacifying the heaviness waiting upon his being, Lord Mahadev embarked on a journey towards the northern Himalayas. Slowly but steadily, he sought solace and tranquility, even though his physical movement took him to the opposite direction towards the south. While on his journey towards the northern Himalayas in search of calmness, Lord Mahadev arrived at Brahmapur in the south. Brahmapur was home to a group of 100 sages accompanied by their wives. As Mahadev passed through Brahmapur, all the sages went to bath in the Ganga. In their absence, some wives of those Brahmins passing by noticed Mahadev and engaged in a discussion among themselves. They recognized Mahadev and exclaimed, "Hey friends, that person walking there is not other than Mahadev himself. He roams restlessly this form. Look at the immense strength and power radiating from his body." On the contrary, Brahmins have been engaged in penance, surviving on only one meal a day, resulting in their frail and weak physique. Our ambitions and desires for physical activities can never be fulfilled in this state of ours. We have been sitting idly while Mahadev walks with immense power. The wives of the sages, hearing this conversation, became intrigued by the prospect of having the desire for physical work and recreation fulfilled. They believed that Mahadev could offer them the fulfillment they sought. Consequently, one after another, the wives of all the sages approached Mahadev, pursuing their desire. Unaware of their intentions, Mahadev remained oblivious to the situation unfolding around him. Upon completing their ritual chants and austerities, the sages returned to their homes, only to discover that their wives were nowhere to be found. Filled with surprise and concern, the sages gathered together in one place, realizing that their woman had gone after Mahadev. Determined to find their wives, the sages set out on a collective search, combining the area from all directions. Understanding that their wives had been drawn towards Mahadev, each sage embarked on an individual quest, determined to locate their beloved partners. As the group of sages continued their systematic search, they eventually came across Mahadev on a particular road. They halted their pursuit, and some of them even sat down on the path, effectively blocking his way. Once Mahadev crossed their path, the sages addressed him, expressing their astonishment and concern. They acknowledged the allure of his agile and robust physique, as well as his captivating form, which had captivated their wives and compelled them to follow. Requesting Mahadev to turn around, they urged him to witness the reality that all their women had indeed followed behind him. The sages, addressing Mahadev, expressed their concern that their wives were allured by his intense and potent energy. In response, they pronounced a curse upon him, decreeing that his fierce, passionate, and immense bodily power would diminish. Out of respect for the sages, Lord Mahadev accepted the curse. As a consequence, the intense energy and frenzied passion within Mahadev's being dissipated, causing him to collapse and lie on the ground. However, due to the impact of Sage's curse, Mahadev Frenin's linga disintegrated, and from its remnant emerged a powerful and radiant flame in the form of Jyotirlinga. While Mahadev remained in a weakened state, the flame emanating from his linga and body began to blaze intensely, engulfing everything and everyone around. The sages and their wives, as well as various celestial realms like Devlok, Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnar, and others were all caught in the destructive fire. Witnessing this calamity, the inhabitants of heaven hurriedly sought the console of Brahma and Vishnu to understand the unfolding events. They were unable to comprehend the nature of flame burning within Mahadev's Jyotirlinga and consuming everything in its path. Desperate for guidance, they approached Brahma and Vishnu for assistance. Brahma and Vishnu embarked on a joint quest to unravel the origins and limits of divine light. Brahma suggested that Vishnu descend to explore the depths while he himself ascend to search for pinnacle. Vishnu accepted the task and delved deep into the depths, diligently seeking the bottom of the Jyotirlinga and its ultimate beginning and end. However, despite his extensive efforts, Vishnu failed to discover any conclusive answers. Frustrated and acknowledging his limitation, he returned and joined Brahma in their search. Meanwhile, Brahma ascended in search of the summit, hoping to unravel the apex of the Jyotirlinga. However, much to his dismay, he too was unable to locate the culmination point. Overwhelmed with the shame of his inability to uncover the beginning and end of the Jyotirlinga, Brahma found himself perplexed about the next course of action. He feared facing the gods and Lord Vishnu's potential disappointment and curses if he returned empty-handed. Despite his earnest efforts, Brahma was left bewildered, unable to fathom the profound nature of the Jyotirlinga. Feeling perplexed and desperate to find a solution, Brahma turned to Kamdenu, the divine cow, for assistance. Brahma explained his predicament, expressing his confusion and seeking guidance. Brahma proposed a plan to Kamdenu, stating that he intended to reach the pinnacle of the Jyotirlinga and offer milk from her. He implored Kamdenu to affirm that her milk had indeed been offered at the top of the Jyotirlinga. Brahma sought her cooperation, believing that her endorsement would validate his claim. Furthermore, Brahma approached to the Ketaki flower and shared his intentions. He suggested that the flower should support his plan by stating that Brahma had plucked it and offered it to the top of Jyotirlinga. Brahma relied on the flower's collaboration, anticipating that its affirmation would further substantiate his claim. Regrettably, Brahma resorted to decide by influencing Kamdenu and the Ketaki flower to support his false claim. He descended and presented himself before Vishnu, who candidly admitted his inability to discover the beginning and end of the Jyotirlinga despite his search. Vishnu acknowledged his determination but acknowledged the limits of his efforts. Seizing the opportunity, Brahma proclaimed that he had successfully reached to the summit of the Jyotirlinga and offered the milk from Kamdenu cow and the Ketaki flower as offerings. He fabricated this story, hoping to validate his false achievement and establish his superiority over Vishnu. Brahma, in an attempt to validate his falsehood, urged Vishnu and the gods of Devloka to seek confirmation from Kamdenu cow and the Ketaki flower. To everyone's surprise, both Kamdenu and the Ketaki flower went along with Brahma's decide and affirmed the veracity of his claim. They convinced Vishnu, Indra, and other gods that Brahma's assertion was indeed true. Consequently, Brahma's lie about discovering the beginning and end of the Jyotirlinga gained acceptance among the celestial beings. Due to the incorporeal nature of the Jyotirlinga, it cannot have a discernible beginning or end. Therefore, any claim of discovering its entirety is inherently false. Brahma, Kamdenu cow, and the Ketaki flower were subsequently cursed for their deception by an oracle from the sky. Brahma, feeling remorseful for his lie, included Kamdenu cow and the Ketaki flower in his curse. An oracle from the sky addresses Kamdhenu cow, admonishing her for speaking lies and declared that her speech would henceforth be impure, affecting her mouth and head. However, the lower parts of her body would remain pure, similar to the purity associated with receiving a sacred offering. Turning attention to the Ketaki flower, an oracle from the sky proclaimed that, as a consequence of its complicity in supporting his falsehood, it would be forbidden from adorning the head of Mahadev, Shiva. Furthermore, the flower would not be offered to any other gods. These curses were meant to serve as a punishment for their deceitful actions. Addressing Brahma, the divine voice from the heavens expressed displeasure at his actions, highlighting how he not only devised himself but also coerced others into lying. As a consequence, Brahma was subjected to a curse. The curse entailed that his radiance and spiritual power would no longer have any effect or reach any destination. Furthermore, Brahma was forbidden from having his idols or representations established and worshipped anywhere. These curses served as a reprimand for Brahma's misconduct, and he humbly bowed his head and accepted his fate. At that moment, as the flame of the Jyotirlinga continued to blaze, everyone remained in the state of prayer and devotion. The sky then conveyed a message to Vishnu, reassuring him not to fear and to wholeheartedly praise the Jyotirlinga. It was promised that the Jyotirlinga would gradually diminish in size, allowing Vishnu to easily perceive its beginning and end. Through his unwavering devotion and supplication, the Jyotirlinga would find balance and tranquility. As a result of Vishnu's dedicated prayers, the Jyotirlinga would split into 12 pieces and be established in 12 different locations. This accounts for the belief in the installation of 12 Jyotirlingas for the benefits and reverence of all. The 12 Jyotirlingas are as follows. Somnath Jyotirlinga, located in Pravas-Patan, Gujarat, India. Mallikarjun Jyotirlinga, located in Srisalam, Andhra Pradesh, India. Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga, located in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh, India. Omkareshwar Jyotirlinga, located in Omkareshwar, Madhya Pradesh, India. Kedarnath Jyotirlinga, located in Kedarnath, Uttarakhand, India. Bhimasankar Jyotirlinga, located in Bhimasankar, Maharashtra, India. Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirlinga, located in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, India. Trimbakeshwar Jyotirlinga, located in Trimbak, Maharashtra, India. Vaidyanath Jyotirlinga, located in Deoghar, Jharkhand, India. Nageshwar Jyotirlinga, located in Dwarka, Gujarat, India. Rameshwar Jyotirlinga, located in Rameswaram, Tamil Nadu, India. Grihaneshwar Jyotirlinga, located in Veerul, Maharashtra, India. These 12 Jyotirlingas are considered sacred and are revered by devotees of Lord Shiva. According to the legend of the churning of the ocean or Samudra Manthan in Hindu mythology, various divine objects and beings emerged from the churning process. One of the significant events during the churning was the appearance of Kalkut poison, a deadly poison that could destroy the world. To prevent the poison from causing devastation, Lord Shiva voluntarily consumed it. As the poison was potent and could harm Lord Shiva, he held it in its throat, which turned blue due to the poison's effect. This earned him the name Nilkantha, meaning the one with a blue throat. By containing the poison within himself, Lord Shiva protected the world from its destructive power. In order to alleviate the heat and discomfort caused by the poison, the practice of offering water to Shiva Linga, the symbolic representation of Lord Shiva, began. Devotees offer water, milk, or other sacred substances to the Shiva Linga as a symbolic act of cooling and soothing Lord Shiva's inflamed throat. This tradition has been followed for centuries and continues to be an integral part of Shiva worship. Thank you.